Right, time for our special segment, Deep Dive, where we focus and actually put the spotlight on one company, one stock, and tell you everything about it. Today, the spotlight is on Induslnd Bank. The stock has been underperforming versus the Bank Nifty for the last 6 months. What's ailing Induslnd Bank? My colleague Hiral Dadia joins in with that deep dive.
Thank you. So clearly, if you see in terms of Induslnd Bank, an absolute underperformer is what we've seen. Let's just quickly look at the performance. Down 30% in the last 6 months versus Bank Nifty, which is up 3%. So that's the kind of performance that we've already seen. And further down, if you see the last two quarterly numbers that have come in, analysts have been negative and they have downgraded as well. The first key concern is the loan growth. That has been moderating. If you see from the first quarter of FY24, we were at around 22%. It's come down to almost 13% in the second quarter of FY25. Deposit growth also has been weakening. So these are two major concerns. Now, because of both of this, a tepid loan growth and a deposit growth, that has resulted in CASA, which has been moderating. If you see the CASA, which obviously, as we know, stands for the current account, savings account. If you see in terms of the CASA as well, let's quickly look at in terms of the trends that we've been picking up in terms of the CASA growth. There you go. In the first quarter of FY24, it stood at around 40%. It's come down to around 36%. In fact, the first quarter of FY25 was 35%, second quarter around 36%. So this is one of the other major concerns that we have been watching out for. Now, because of all of this, if you talk about the net interest margins, which have weakened, now to be noted that the net interest margins have not only weakened for Induslnd Bank, it has been a trend across the sector. From 4.29%, it's come down to almost 4.08. That's the number that we've been tracking over here. And the credit costs, yes, have been high for all, but for Induslnd Bank, it's on the higher side. From 45.86%, it's gone up to 52.21% in terms of where the credit costs go. And it's the microfinance segment, as well as if you talk about the CV segment, that is what is impacting the asset quality as well. If you see in terms of the asset quality, the way it's moved, the gross NPAs have gone up from 1.94% to a 2.11%. So that's with regards to where the gross NPAs go. Apart from that, if you go to see, the stress in the microfinance lending has increased. Provisions have also surged. The provisions are funds set aside to cover potential losses from loans that may not be repaid, as just an explainer to give on that one. If you talk about the provisions, almost doubled from 991 crores in the first quarter of FY24. They've doubled to almost 1,820 crores. That's the number that we have been picking up so far. And because of which the profitability has gone down. If you see in terms of the profitability number, that's come down to 1,331 crores from a 2,124 crore as well. And if you talk about the CET ratio, which is the Common Equity Tier 1 ratio, or as we call it, the CET ratio, that has remained high. So from 16.33, that has gone up to almost 50, come down to 15.21. That's the number in terms of the CET. Now, clearly, what is going wrong, right? So one, the bank is likely to miss the planning cycle 6 target. That's a big possibility. In fact, the management has indicated in its con call as well that they will be missing the FY26 loan growth guidance of 18 to 23%. That number is going to be below this. Apart from that, if you see in terms of brokerages as well, majority of them have cut the target price on this company from ICICI Securities to Nuvama, Kotak, MK, as well as Philips Capital. All of them have downgraded it, and they've cut the EPS estimates as well. The key questions are, will these challenges continue to persist? Second, the company is missing consistency. Now, to be noted that consistency is going to be a key to re-rating with regards to where Induslnd Bank goes. And there is no quick turnaround in sight from here on as well. And very lastly, the bank, as we mentioned, is not expected to achieve the planning cycle 6 loan growth guidance. Unless and until they are able to meet all of this, there is no turnaround in place. The de-rating is expected to continue.